What's going on, idiots? Today we are talking about the possibility of Valve releasing a new Steam Deck console, I guess. And yeah, it's pretty much called I think the Valve from Vermont, Vermont. Okay, I mean it's not a bad code name. It's not bad. I don't really think it would be a bad console name either, but it kind of needs to be more clear that it's a console. I don't know, but hey, not a bad name, regardless. So a new Valve console leak just appeared, and the specs beat the Steam Deck. Well, it should, obviously. Look, if Valve is going to release a console, it needs to be more powerful than the PS5 and Series X. I mean, look, I'm not going to give them any special treatment, right? Like, if they're going to release a console, just like the same thing I said for Nintendo. In fact, like, since Nintendo's only doing portables, I said that the Switch 2 needs to almost be as powerful as a PS5 and Series X. But, I guess we could just get started real quick. So, according to this fat guy over here, benchmarks results from a device called Valve Fremont Fremont have just appeared online, suggesting that a new Steam OS game console is in the works. This isn't the first time we heard about this Fremont, which is true, console project, which is true. Like, this has been a rumor for like a year now, right? That's what I feel. I felt like it's been a year since like we heard rumors about a Steam console per se. Which, like, look, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really. I mean, if it happens, I'm just more excited about Valve. Giving like showing the console, like the whole console ecosystem, how a console should be made, like what they should have access to across devices of any kind, right? So like the Steam Deck per se, like that's you should be able to have this modern portable that you're able to play all your games on that you've been building a library to, right? Like, I mean, there's no excuses. The PS4 and PS5 should have offered this a long time ago. There really is no excuse. The best that Sony offers for a quote unquote portable option is that you have to, or is this streaming device that they call the PlayStation Portal, and that's not a traditional portable. And I'm just like confused. Why didn't they make one a long time ago? But Steam slash PC, they have your portable needs. Like, hey, you want to play your games portably, get a Steam Deck, Legion Go, whatever, right? And now it seems like they're going more for the PlayStation and Xbox crowd, with the Valve Fremont. And I'm like, well, here's the thing. I wish that it could be more so a message on the console users, right? On how hardware should really, or how you should be treated on your piece of hardware. But do I think it's gonna do well? Here's the thing, though. I think the console market is done. I think it is. I mean, I think this like Val Fremont. I think it'll be good for what it is, but I don't think it's gonna get a lot of people from the PS4. I'm sorry, the PlayStation and Xbox, and especially Nintendo, because I mean, for some reason, these console dudes, they're like flies coming towards shit, right? Like they don't want good stuff. They don't want good devices. I mean, it would be nice, I guess, to them if their device of choice was a good device, but it's not. Like, and I think whoever's on the PlayStation will stay on the PlayStation. Whoever's on the Xbox will stay on the Xbox, or whatever Xbox will be in the future. And then whoever is on Nintendo will stay on Nintendo. Unfortunately, this is the sad reality that we have. Like, we have people on the Switch 2 finally getting excited that they have games from like 5 years ago, like 2 to 5 years ago. Like, hey, congratulations, dude. The like us on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox, we've been having this game for the longest time. Oh, but praise be to the Switch 2 for getting these older fucking games for 2 to 5 years, and it looks and plays like shit. Wow, congratulations, Switch owners. Good job, good job, Switch 2 owners. You're doing great. But do I feel like this like Valve Fremont, you know, I mean, look, I'm sorry, but I don't really think that this Valve Fremont will do anything for these console users. They're already brain rotted, man. They already are accustomed to paying for online. They already are accustomed paying $70 for games. And like, since most importantly, and this is where I kind of don't blame them, but it's like, tough shit. Start all over. Like, the hell? Like, sell your PS4 or whatever games if you got them physical, which you should have anyway. So if you didn't, that's your fault. Like, sell your goddamn PS4 games or Xbox One games and fucking move over to the PC. You know, shit. Fucking sucks for you. You know. If you're like, well, I have my library on the PlayStation. It's like, look, if you casually game, I guess you don't really need to go to the PC. Especially because, like, if you're a casual gamer, you're most likely playing like Fortnite and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, really, the consoles are not a bad place to play stuff like that. It's really not. But if you're, like, realistically paying for $80 to $120 for online a year on your PlayStation, or you're paying for like online on your Xbox, or especially Nintendo, really, I don't care if theirs is only $20 at base, which most likely will increase. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, you should not be doing that. You shouldn't. You really shouldn't. And I guess this like Valve for like Fremont. Oh my God, why can I not pronounce it? This Valve Fremont, it will most likely do a good job getting like maybe newer people into it, but for the current console fan bases, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, so let's just move on, I guess. Valve first attempted to produce its own Steam machines around a decade ago. Yeah, but with limited game support, they failed to take off. It wasn't really the game support; it was just the concept of what they were, the Steam boxes or whatever you want to call them. They were just such a dumb concept. It would have been fine if they had that $500 model that I was looking forward to, but then, like, bro, they had like, oh, this $800 model, this $1,000 model, and it's like, look, at the time, I wasn't really, like, I didn't really have a clue on what Steam and PC was, really. Like, I knew what Steam was, but I just didn't know the PC storefront, right? Like, I thought that, just to give you guys some examples, because I was a console peasant, mind rotted fuck, okay? I thought that the iPad 3 had completely different games and features from the iPad 2, when that's not really the case. I didn't really look at this, I mean, those devices, and be like, yeah, they're the same, but one is just like, a better version of it. No, no, I couldn't fathom that at the time, you know? Especially with how, like, expensive it was. I was like, wait, if it's not a completely different device, they can't do that many different things. Why the hell is it that much? Like, I couldn't comprehend that at the time, you know? So I thought that the iPad 3 was kind of like, how the Super Nintendo is to the NES, right? Like that. I really did. Like, I thought the iPad 3 had completely different games, had access to completely different games, when really that wasn't even the case. It really wasn't the case. So yeah, like, I could not comprehend, like, a device just being a power front, I guess, for how you could run your game, and that's it, right? So I thought that the Steam box would actually be its own platform, but you could access Steam. That's what I thought. So after they released, like, multiple models and stuff like that, I'm like, wait, are these like completely different things? Where, I mean, obviously, yeah, I could access, like, the Steam store, but can I still would I still be able to, how do you say, like, play certain games or whatever? Like, wait, how does this work? See, they confused the hell out of the average consumer with like, this device is made by Alienware. This device is made by Dell or whatever, right? And it's like, what the hell's the point of this then? You exactly made a like a group of devices, which we already have that. It's called a PC. Like we didn't need the Steam box or whatever. Which yeah, that's why it failed. It didn't fail because like it didn't get support or whatever. I don't even think that's true. I think it was okay. It just like wasn't optimized. Maybe the games weren't optimized well for them. I don't know. That's completely possible. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, the reason why they failed and why most of them were canceled really was because of the concept. It was just stupid. You know, it really was. But yeah, well, that's fine. However, now that Valve has nailed game support and a smooth operating system for or with the Steam Deck, which still tops our best handheld buying guide. Yeah, it looks as if the firm has looked at making a more powerful device that you could plug into your TV. To be fair, you could still plug your whatever into the TV, but yeah. The Valve Fremont machine is listed in two results listings in the Geekbench results browser, which both show a AMD custom CPU with a model number 1772 and as well as of its specs. According to the list, the CPU has 6 cores of 12 threads, alongside 16 megabytes of L3 cache. I'm not even going to pretend I know what that means or the scale of that. I wish I did. I'm not going to lie. A 3.2 gigahertz base clock and a 4.8 gigahertz boost clock. The listings also state that the CPU is an AMD Hawk Point model, Hawk Tua, yeah, point 2 model, and the AMD's Ryzen 200 series mobile chip. Okay, so I don't know what any of that means. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. Like, I don't know if the Ryzen 200 series is good, is it bad? I don't know. Like, I don't really know this shit. All I know is, like Nvidia hardware, 4060, 5060 series and stuff like that. That's mostly all. And gigabytes of RAM. That too. That's mostly what I know. But from what it looks like, it does seem like this is going to be a fairly cheap and powerful system for what it is. And it's like, really, look, they don't need to go crazy with the power. Just make it more powerful than the PS5 and Series X, and you'll be fine. It really is that simple. Like, make it more powerful than those consoles, and try to release it the best they can. Obviously, like as cheap as they can. I mean, and they'll be fine. I really do feel like they'll be okay. And they could get other people on board who initially wouldn't have gotten a PS5 or Series X or whatever, right? Or who are about to, but then they're like, oh, look at this Valve Fremont. Oh, free online? Wow. Free online? Like, decades and decades of games on there? Like, shit. I mean, and, if you can make a controller where it can't really stick drift, that's also another problem with current consoles, is that they're made like shit, really. Like, people say, like, oh, the PS2 controller was cheap and all. Bro, at least you were able to, like, like, there were some games that required you to wiggle the analog, right? And it didn't feel like it was going to fucking fall off. So, no, honestly, I feel like the quality of controllers have gone down a lot, really. So, I don't know if I believe that. So, yeah, I mean, so if Valve is able to find this perfect thing, this perfect how do you say, this perfect middle ground of price, power, and everything, that I think that'd be great. I think so. So there you go. Would I be excited about this personally? No, because I already have the Steam Deck for my portable needs. I already have a desktop for my home console need, for my home device needs. I'm good, really. But that doesn't mean that I can't appeal to newer people who thought of getting a PlayStation, Nintendo, or Xbox. Hopefully, possibly, who knows. Anyways, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.